to remote start my car 3 times before I got into it, and it's still freaking cold. If you live in the Midwest or is ever planning for whatever crazy reason life brings you to the Midwest, it is crucial that you have a remote starter in your car. It's a must. Every car that I have, it's a must. I gotta have a remote starter. And I'm guessing that this actually goes for people that live in hot climates like Arizona, Texas, New Mexico, California, Florida, because you can remote start your car and hopefully it is cool. I don't know how that works. I don't know if you just set your AC in your car and then you turn it on. But if you live in a hot area and you have a remote starter and it's a must for you, please let me know in the comments, because maybe one day, hopefully, I can move to somewhere warm and finally get away. Anyways, we're actually on our way to go drop off a wedding that I just edited for one of my friends. So that's what we did today. She called me up and she said, hey, I have another wedding for you. So of course, being a workaholic, I went and got it this morning. She hooked it up with the Starbucks. We had a hot Americano today. And today I want to talk to you guys about why I shoot D-Log, because I keep getting this question all the time. Is this D-Log or is this normal 10-bit color? Oh, they ask me about the settings, but specifically they always ask about D-Log. You guys are always asking me if I'm shooting in D-Log or normal bit color, normal 10-bit color, and the answer is I always shoot D-Log. And today I'm just gonna break down why I shoot D-Log. Now, if you don't know what D-Log is, it's a log profile, meaning that the image is going to be flat. There isn't going to be any color in it, any contrast, barely any processing at all in this image. I'm not going to give you the technical term or anything like that, because it's not what this is. I'm trying to explain this as easy as possible. Think of it as a coloring book. This camera is giving me the coloring book without it being colored. That's what log is. That's how I can explain it. And you get the crayons and you get to color it however you want. The cool thing about that is that you can obviously color however you want. If you gave those crayons to 10 different people and you gave them the same coloring book and the same image to color, they will all look different. And that's the cool thing, right? You can put your own personal touch to the images. Now, if you are a professional like me and you enjoy the coloring process like I do, that is a good reason to shoot D-Log. Now, some of the pros and cons about shooting D-Log is that there is extra steps. Might be extra cost too, because now you need a professional software that can support Luts or color grading tools for you to be able to color grade your video and to be able to read your files and all that stuff. But Davinci to me is the king of color grading. It just, the tools, the layout, everything is modern. They constantly update it. It just works. It doesn't crash on me. I've never had any issues with it, and I've been editing videos on that thing for maybe 4 or 5 years now. So I love it. I don't know anything about Premiere, so don't ask me about Premiere. You want to say hi to the vlog?
Yes, I do.
Hey, this is Karis, guys.
Hello. That's awesome.
We'll catch you later.
Bye.
All right, guys, that was my friend Karis. I didn't want to bother her too much. She would have definitely probably said some cool things on the vlog, but she's working, so she had a client in front of her, and I just wanted to be polite. I did not bring my Nano today. Typically, I would have had the Nano strapped onto me, but we're just rocking the Action 6, and yes, we are in 8K. I know a lot of people don't see the difference, and that's okay. If you don't see the difference, just use 4K. It's not a big deal. A little note on that. I don't think that it's just a bitrate issue for those that are geeky. I think the problem is that this camera is not doing a good job at downsampling the 8K footage into the 4K, and it's compressing kind of weird, and that's where you get all those weird artifacts. I think when you have good lighting conditions, that's not an issue. You don't see it as often. You know, I'm so grateful for friends like Karis, because that's how I'm able to survive the winters. A lot of my friends that, you know, are in business, and this is, I guess, not just the photography business, but I think in any sort of business, usually in the wintertime, things drop. And especially as a creative, it's a little bit hard to pick up work during the winter because, you know, creative work is, I think it's one of the hardest entrepreneur jobs or businesses that you can run, just because some people just don't value it, and they, you know, are turning to things like AI and stuff, which AI does great for certain things, but not for everything. So don't put yourself in a box. If you have all these other skills, let people know. Go on Instagram and let people know what kind of things you can do. Make yourself useful to other people and then charge for that depending on your time. Whatever you think that's worth, charge for that. And you'd be surprised how many people will say yes. One thing that I want people to understand, if you are watching this video and thinking about doing D-Log, don't feel pressure to shoot D-Log. You don't have to shoot D-Log. D-Log is there for if you want to play around with color, if you want to spend the extra money on the software, if you want to learn it just for fun, for a hobby, or maybe you want to get into this thing professionally, then you can, get the most out of these cameras, but it's not necessary. And that's one thing that I want you to understand from this video, is that shooting D-Log is not necessary. You probably have heard the term Luts. And Luts is, I think the actual term or whatever it means, I think it's called a lookup table. And I'm not gonna get nerdy with it, but it's basically a preset. It's a filter, it's a preset. It tells the image what to do with the colors. That's basically it. It's a preset, it's a filter. That's just the easiest way to understand it. Now, when you're shooting video, there's two types of LUTs. There's conversion LUT and then there's a creative LUT. And I'm pretty sure maybe there's other types of LUTs for effects and stuff like that, but we're just gonna keep this thing basic so I don't lose you guys. The number one is the conversion LUT. When you shoot in D-Log, which is that flat, colorless color book that I talked to you guys about, you're going to need to transform it back to normal color, like normal 10-bit, like what you shoot in this camera. And to do that, you need a conversion LUT. The conversion LUT will convert your D-Log footage. It's got to be specific now to your log footage. So you have to get a conversion LUT that's for Dlog M, so that it understands how to read the colors that are within this log profile and transform them into a normal base state. It's also going to add a contrast curve to your image. So depending on the conversion LUT, you might get a more punchier image or a flatter image that allows you to have more power to manipulate shadows, highlights like here, or the dark areas behind me on my seat, stuff like that. Or you can add another layer, which I'll show you all this as soon as we get home here. You can add another layer and add a creative LUT to your image, which is where you get the sauce or that special color that makes your image pop or look filmic or whatever mood you're trying to create. All right, guys, we are back home. Still Action 6 8K footage, 24 frames per second, full auto. But we're going to be hopping on the computer here, specifically Davinci Resolve is what we're going to use. If you are using a different software, please do not ask me any questions. I do not know how to use Final Cut, Adobe Premiere, CapCut, all that stuff. I only use Davinci Resolve. All right, guys. So what you're looking at here is D-Log footage from the Action 6. This is specifically in 8K, 24 frames per second, full auto. And as you can see here, the footage is flat. This is from my vlog the other day. So as you can see down here, we're on the color tab and we have our first node over here. Nodes are just layers, and that's how you apply your effects, color grading, LUTs, all that stuff. So the first layer is just your D-Log. It doesn't have anything. This is typically where you're going to make your adjustments. So in order to add a conversion LUT, I always recommend to add a layer. So you're going to add a node. Here they call them nodes in Davinci by hitting Option S on Mac, and that adds a note on top of it. And then I'm going to hit Command S again. I work on a 3-node base. This is how I keep things very, very simple for my vlogs. Now, when it comes to professional work, this thing looks a lot more complicated because I go into depth with all the editing and stuff like that. But for vlogs and YouTube, I don't put a lot of work into these things. Literally, it's like a click of a button and I'm done editing, and I'm going to show you that right now. So the first layer is where we make all of our adjustments, contrast, and all that stuff, but I'm not going to do that yet. We're going to go to the middle node here, which is where our conversion LUT comes in. Now you can download the conversion LUT straight from DJI website. Just type in Rec 709. You can download it, import it into Davinci Resolve, and it'll be right over here in your LUT menu or whatever. You got to make sure that you get the specific one to the camera. Do not use like DJI you know, Action 6 or Phantom or whatever. Even though it's D-Log, every camera has a different contrast curve, so they don't all work the same. So make sure you get the one for the camera. And right here we have the DJI Osmo Action 6. If you double click, it adds that LUT into it. I'll show you the before and after. So if you turn it off, see that's flat, that's that colorless page, kind of like the coloring book concept that I told you about earlier. And if you click on there, now you applied it. This is just what normal standard 10-bit color would look like if you shut it off of camera. The only difference is that when you shoot D-Log, you get a little bit more dynamic range, and it's a less processed image, meaning that it's not going to have those sharp digital edges and stuff like that. If you are new and don't know what I'm talking about, don't even worry about it. This is just being super nitpicky about the image and stuff like that. Normal 10-bit color looks perfectly fine. If you're happy with it, just shoot that and worry about making more videos and posting and working on your story and getting a little workflow. That's going to be more important than learning how to color grade or adding color grading to your videos. So normal 10-bit color is applied to this with the conversion LUT. You can go back to the first layer, and this is where you can add contrast down here with the slider. See if I'm going to go extreme. See how I added a lot of contrast there? And if I double click it, it'll reset it again. This is where you can add contrast. You can change your temperature to warm or cool. On the temperature tab over here, there's tint. Obviously, you can go right to magenta or left for green. And then you got your sharpness right here where it says mid detail. You can de-sharpen the footage or sharpen it if you feel like it's too soft. A lot of people think the 8K footage on this is too soft. I like it. I feel like it looks more natural. And then down here, you have your color wheels, which I'll show you here in a little bit. But I'm going to show you how to use the creative LUTs. So on the third node here, which is the layer on top of the normal 10-bit color, this is where you can add your creative LUTs. So as you can see here, we got a bunch of them. I use Phantom LUTs. So Phantom LUTs are made by this guy, Joe, and you can read all about it on his website, but just look them up. They're called Phantom LUTs. And that's what I use for my DJI footage. They got a bunch of different ones. They got this icy blue one, which I really like. You would add your creative layer onto that third node. And then if you click down here on this little tab where it says key, and you go to gain key output, you can turn that down and you can turn the intensity of the LUT just like you can with the film tones in this camera. So if you turn it down, see, I'll do show before, after, and if you see it, the image already looks really good. Any adjustments like highlights, shadows, and all that stuff, we're gonna do those in the first node. So anytime you want to move your highlights, you can go down here. This is where you have all the adjustment tools for your image. Highlights are a little bit hot, so I'm going to turn the highlights down just a little bit, and as you can see there, the image already looks good. It's that easy. Once you have that done, you can click on the clip down here, and then you can hit Command C for copy, and literally you can just select all the other clips that were in the same space and hit Command V for paste, and now you just color graded all of those clips. That's how easy it is. Command V, see, I just color graded another clip. And then that's it, guys. That's all I do. Here's an example too of why you got to make sure that the LUTs are designed for your camera. Because see, if I go here and try to add a different LUT from this one's for D-Log 2 or whatever, it's a conversion LUT. Look how ugly the image is on this. Look, my lips are pink, my skin is white. If I go over here, this one looks very pale. Like, look at this one, looks so saturated. It completely destroys the image. So you have to make sure you do your research on these LUTs. Don't just buy whatever and then apply it, and then you're gonna wonder why your image looks really bad. I use Phantom LUTs. Another great website is Gamut.io. They have a bunch of creative LUTs and conversion LUTs and stuff like that you can use on your footage. Now, I have bought quite a bit of them before. Those were actually some of the first LUTs I ever bought when I started, and some of them were okay, some of them were good, so it's kind of like a hit and miss. So be careful on those. Make sure you read the reviews. Don't get too crazy, guys. Remember, this is a preference thing. You don't need to color grade your footage. You can just shoot with the film tones on this, or you can shoot straight 10-bit color and it'll be fine. When you shoot 10-bit color, the camera is doing the coloring for you. It's keeping the colors natural, it's adding the contrast that it needs to, it's adjusting highlights and shadows, so you don't have to do the work. You literally just drag the clips, cut them, put your vlog together, and you're done. You don't need to color grade. I hope that if out of anything you get that out of this video, so that way you guys can go out there and make videos and not have to worry about who's shooting D-Log, who's shooting 10-bit color. It doesn't really matter. For me, I just love color grading because I am a professional. I do this professionally and I love the process. I love the process of color grading. It's this easy for me, and this is what I use for well, my vlogs. I literally just add these nodes on here and then copy and paste it on all the clips, and then I export and I'm done. It doesn't take me that long, but I do recommend that you use that you learn color grade. There's a ton of tutorials that are going to teach you way better than I do. For now, I think that's all I got for the vlog today, guys. I hope that this helps you understand what D-Log is and how to easily convert it and color grade it, where to get your LUTs, and what to look out for. So anyways, as always, I appreciate you guys. For those that stayed through the whole video, I appreciate you. For the non-believers, obviously there's always chapters you can skip through and find your answers, but that's not the point of vlogging. The point of vlogging is to hang out with me, to hang out with each other, create a relationship, join the community, and learn from each other from just like a more real, authentic type of way. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Peace out. I'll catch you guys on the next one.